Hey there friends, it's Kodiak here. Welcome back to Legacy Gaming. Big day for all you Assassin's Creed fans out there. A brand new title was just announced, Assassin's Creed Mirage. If you're a close follower of the game, you've most likely already seen the big announcement, but as a channel that's created hundreds of Assassin's Creed videos, it was time for us to jump back into the fray. So the headline here, Assassin's Creed Mirage is the next title in the franchise. We're going to learn a heck of a lot more at an upcoming Ubisoft Forward event on September 10th, so mark your calendars because while there are a lot of great leaks and rumors floating around, there's nothing better than actually hearing official news straight from the devs. What I can tell you is that the Assassin's Creed community has been putting in the work to unravel the mystery that is this new game, and there are a lot of interesting details that I think players are going to get excited about. Keep in mind, these are for the most part leaks, rumors, or speculation, and while they come from some consistent, reliable sources, just temper your expectations. Now, as revealed by Jonathan, a French YouTuber and one of the most consistent sources for Assassin's Creed leaks, Assassin's Creed Mirage will take place in Baghdad. We'll be playing as Basim somewhere between 860 and 870, shortly before the events of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This period is significant because in history, it's marked by a series of events called the Anarchy at Samarra. Without going into too many nitty-gritty details, this period was marred by constant unrest with leaders called caliphs rising to power that in most cases being quickly removed from power, oftentimes exiled and killed. It was an ongoing power struggle for a decade that saw nearly half a dozen leaders in power, and it looks as if that'll provide the backdrop for our story in AC Mirage. Now, historically, this gives the developers a lot to play with because unrest means chaos, and the Assassin's Creed teams love trying to channel that chaos into meaningful game moments. All signs point to this being Basim's origin story, which makes sense as the events take place prior to the events of Valhalla. It's no secret that Basim is a fan-favorite character, and Mirage will most likely provide us with the beginning parts of his arc, how he became a member of the Hidden Ones, and ultimately how he became entangled with Loki. As far as the gameplay is concerned, and this is where I think a lot of folks might perk up, it looks like Ubisoft is trying to find a middle ground between their original stealth-inspired gameplay and their more modern RPG approach. Some of the leaks suggest the game won't have a leveling system or traditional RPG mechanics like dialogue options. It's safe to assume the expansive skill tree from Valhalla will also be going away or changing to some degree. Ultimately, I think this is a step in the right direction. We've pretty much gone as far away from the original idea as we possibly could, what with Dawn of Ragnarok really throwing out the old rulebook in favor of a more fantasy RPG, but that's not exactly in line with what the community was looking for. Since the introduction of RPG systems back in Origins, there have been a chorus of voices calling for a return to form, and that's really only gotten louder the further away Ubisoft drifted from their first game. Now, another leak that leans into this idea of returning to form indicates that the core gameplay experience will take place inside one primary city, Baghdad. This is a complete 180 from the expansive open world of Valhalla and really is a callback to the original Assassin's Creed game, which was much more limited in terms of the world. Obviously, this doesn't mean the game will be empty, just not overly expansive. The team will just have to be smart about how they use the space effectively, doing more with less, essentially. Hopefully this means cutting down on some of the extra filler content such as riding your horse between hubs, which to be honest is pretty awful gameplay. Cut that out and jam-pack the action and events into a city, and yeah, I'm on board. There are a lot of smaller supporting bits of information that will no doubt get confirmed when we get the official reveal of the game on the 10th, but let's break those down too, as they'll really help inform where Mirage seems to be heading. A couple quick notes. It doesn't look like the game will have any sort of modern day components, or at least a significantly scaled back modern day component. That makes sense. I think a vast majority of the players felt the modern day storyline fell off a while back, and if you're not into that aspect of the game, it straight up halts your enjoyment of the experience. Now, not everyone hates it, but clearly enough did for them to scrap the idea. Second is the return of Eagle Vision and a companion bird that flies and scouts overhead. It'll be interesting to see if this is any different than Odin Vision. Over the course of the games, this system has seen small tweaks and modifications, so I'm curious what, if anything, will change here. Finally, a release date. Leakers suggest Mirage is coming out in spring 2023, sometime between April and June. We know that Skull and Bones and the Mario plus Rabbids games are going to take up a lot of air this fall, so it makes sense that Ubisoft is targeting an early-ish 2023 release date for their biggest franchise. Keep in mind the team has delayed their Avatar project a considerable ways into the future, so I have no doubt the company is looking for a huge win in 23. That being said, Mirage has already been rumored to be delayed once, but that doesn't mean much considering the game hasn't been officially revealed. The final leak I want to talk about is from Twitter user ScriptLeaksR6, who shows off this key art for what looks like an additional quest within the yet-to-be-revealed game, Assassin's Creed Mirage: The 40 Thieves quest. I love this, and it's most likely a tie-in to the fable Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, which is a popular folktale about a woodcutter who discovers a treasure hoard hidden inside a magical cave guarded by a band of thieves. If you've ever wondered where the phrase "open sesame" comes from, well, that's how you get into said cave. It's pretty clear based on this imagery, that's what's going on here. How this quest is activated or discovered, well, that's still unknown, but if you know Ubisoft, then you know it's most likely some sort of pre-order bonus or tiered bonus based on the version of the game that you buy, possibly like the Beowulf quest from Valhalla. Personally, I love these sorts of tie-ins that aren't exactly mystical, but more closely aligned to fairy tales. They remain grounded in the world while often being creative in form, and that, in my opinion, makes for a pretty fun experience, even if it's fleeting in nature. So there you have it, a taste of what's to come with Assassin's Creed Mirage. We still have tons to learn about the game, but luckily, we won't have to wait too long as the next Ubisoft Forward event is right around the corner on September 10th. I have to know though, are you guys excited about a return to form Assassin's Creed, tapping into the game's roots, or were you hoping for more RPGs, more innovation, and more of what we experienced in Valhalla? Leave us a comment down below and let us know your thoughts, and of course, keep it here for more Assassin's Creed content in your feeds. You know we covered Valhalla top to bottom, and you better believe we'll be doing the same for Mirage. Drop us a like, consider subscribing, and oh yeah, mark your calendars. Our 2022 Leave a Legacy charity event is set for Saturday, October 22nd. For a second year in a row, we've partnered with Connecticut Children's to help bring the joy of video games to kids at the hospital. Mark your calendars, set a reminder, and be sure to join us on Discord to stay up to date on everything regarding the event. That link, of course, is below. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.